Welcome, everyone, to the March 23rd, 2026 Mayor and Council meeting. The meeting will come to order at 7 p.m. This meeting is being broadcast on channels 34 and 43 and the Township's YouTube channel, Township of Fairfield, Essex. Please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mayor, notice of this meeting is in compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231 of the laws of 1975, and has been given by posting a notice of the meeting, time of the regular meeting of the Mayor and Council of the Township of Fairfield on the bulletin board of the municipal building and in the office of the municipal clerk, and by serving notice thereof to the Progress and Herald newspaper on December 23rd, 2025.
Okay, Denise, please call the roll.
Councilman Cifelli.
Here.
Councilman Campisi.
Here.
Councilman LaForgia.
Here.
Council President McGlynn.
Here.
Mayor Glees.
Here. Anyone wishing to comment on tonight's agenda, please come forward, state your name and address for the record. Seeing no one, we'll close that portion. For communications tonight, I really don't have much. I've got a lot maybe at the end for new business and old business, but right now I don't have anything. I know the library meeting is going to be postponed. For more details, please check the website. And that's all I have tonight. Council President McGlynn.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. The DPW is still continuing with the street sweeping and potholes after the doing their seasonal maintenance. The volunteer fire department, year to date, calls they've responded to have been 130. And in March, calls to date have been 30. They also had 7 members attend the Bergen County Fire Academy for an all-day live burn training exercise, and mutual departments from Western Essex County also attended. Also, we want to remind everybody that on this coming Sunday, from 8 to 12, they're going to have their annual pancake breakfast. It's a great event, and I just want to encourage everybody to go out and support our volunteer fire department. They'll be happy to see you, and it's a great event. And that's my report.
Thank you, Michael. Councilman LaForgia.
Mayor, Planning Board is not meeting tomorrow, so we'll have a report next meeting. For Recreation, we're getting the fields ready. Obviously, the weather's breaking a little bit so that we can get to work on them to get ready for our spring sports, which are all set up and ready to go. There are a lot of activities that I suggest checking the website for, the Recreation website. And tomorrow night at our Recreation meeting, we will be honoring the senior boys, senior girls, freshman boys, and freshman girls in basketball that all won their championships. And that's all we have for tonight, Mayor.
Thank you, John.
You're welcome.
Councilman Cifelli.
Thank you, Bill. The Township 2024 audit has been completed by Samuel Klein and Company. The audit was reviewed and all recommendations have been addressed by the various departments. If anyone wishes to see a copy of the audit, it's available in the clerk's office. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Joe. Councilman Campisi.
Thank you, Mayor. So, Municipal Alliance, May 13th, we're going to have our senior luncheon. Details to follow on Community Pass, so please keep an eye on it. And then June 6th, we're going to have our bike rodeo at the rec. Again, more information to follow. And our next meeting will probably be sometime in April, right, Denise? So once I, get updates from that meeting, I will update, the public. And Environmental Commission, I have no new reports.
Okay, thank you, Peter. I need a motion to approve the March 9th, 2026 regular meeting minutes that were rescheduled from the February 23rd meeting.
So moved.
Councilman LaForgia.
Second.
Council President McGlynn.
Councilman LaForgia.
Aye.
Council President McGlynn.
Aye.
Councilman Cifelli.
Aye.
Councilman Campisi.
Aye.
Mayor Glees.
Aye. Okay, for the consent agenda, Administration Department Resolution A, authorization to appoint Nicolette Waldron as Deputy Chief Financial Officer. B, authorization of a title change and salary adjustment for Karen Trento in the Police Department. C, authorization of a title change and salary adjustment for Andrew Williams in the Department of Public Works. D, authorization for Quick Text to install fiber lines from Town Hall to the Public Works Garage and install hardware in the amount of $7,880. E, authorization of a status change for Desiree Janicelli from part-time to full-time in the Tax Department. F, authorization to renew educational data services to accept the co-op in the amount of $2,100. Finance Department Resolution G, authorizing the governing body certification of the 2024 annual budget. H, approval of the 2024 corrective action plan. I, authorization for the cancellation of outstanding checks as of December 31st, 2025. J, authorizing an increase to the 2026 temporary budget. Engineering Department Resolution K, authorization to release a performance bond for Conti Federal Services. L, resolution rejecting bids for the Township of Fairfield's preparation of plans and specifications for Club Road, Labita Drive West, and the Glenroy East resurfacing project. Fire Department Resolution M, authorization to purchase and install equipment from Spectrum Communications in the amount of $5,703.59. Item N, authorization to amend Resolution 2025-532 relating to the purchase of equipment for the fire chief's vehicle. Item O, authorization for fire and safety to perform emergency vehicle repair work to the fire department's ladder and engine truck. Police Department Resolution P, authorization for Amboy Floors to perform repair work in the police department in the amount of $800. Item Q, authorization to rescind Resolution 2026-109 relating to the interaction of Insight Corporation. R, authorization to rescind Resolution 2026-111 relating to the purchase of uniforms from Atlantic Uniforms. Item S, authorization for payment to be made to LawSorf relating to the second payment due on behalf of the Police Department. Public Works Resolution T, authorizing award of an emergency contract to Montana Construction for emergency Route 46 West Sewer main break repair in the amount of $397,532, $397,532.82. U, authorization to purchase salt from Morton Salt under the Essex County Co-op in the amount of $29,142.55. V, authorization for Werner Academy to perform outside vehicle work for the Police Department car number 415 in the amount of $1,735.79, and the Police Department pickup truck for $7,048.54. Item W, authorization for All American Sewer Service to perform work related to a sewer backup on Monsanto Road in the amount of $4,600. X, authorization to amend Resolution 2025-227 relating to the purchase of asphalt from Tilcon. Recreation Department Resolution Y, authorization to reimburse Fairfield Falcon football boosters in the amount of $3,010 for referees. Item Z, authorization to hire RSA MMA to provide a recreational youth grappling program in the amount of $5,890. Tax Department Resolutions AA through LL as appears on the agenda. If there are no questions, comments, or corrections, may I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Councilman Campisi, Councilman Cifelli.
Councilman Campisi.
Aye.
Councilman Cifelli.
Aye.
Councilman LaForgia.
Aye.
Council President McGlynn.
Aye.
Mayor Galise.
Aye. approval of the bills list. Joe?
John McCluskey, our Chief Financial Officer, has certified that the funds are available. I'd like to make a motion to pay the bills in the amount of $4,881,353.99.
Second.
Councilman Cifelli?
Aye.
Councilman Campese?
Aye.
Councilman LaForgia?
Aye.
Council President McGlynn?
Aye.
Mayor Gelise?
Aye. Okay, that brings us to written communications. Does anyone have anything tonight? Unfinished business. I'm going to take that one. I just wanted to try and explain, take a moment to address some of the misconceptions that are being spewed about why and how the Krausers building made its way into our affordable housing plan. Let's start at the beginning. The state of New Jersey sends each town its fair share number of units based on land capacity, undeveloped land, commercial development, household income, and other factors. We engaged our professionals to help us both reduce our obligation and identify zones that would not impact our residential areas. The zones identified by our professionals were designated areas for the affordable units, but do not obligate the town to provide them. We only had to identify the areas. And we had a deadline to file our plan with the state. A developer came to us with a concept plan. They said they were looking at Fairfield, Wayne, and other areas for a project. They identified the Krauser property. We told them we didn't want any expansion of the property. We didn't hear anything further from this developer until just before the deadline. We were legally notified that the developer had sent an inclusionary letter to join a lawsuit filed by the Fair Share Housing Center. Our housing attorney and professionals told us in no uncertain terms that we needed to negotiate and settle. If we were to litigate, besides spending an enormous amount of money, the chances of success were slim to none. A negative outcome could have affected the ruling of our entire plan with the Fair Share Housing. This led us to negotiate with the developer for a reduction in the number of apartments from 66 to 42 and to have them age restricted along with other modifications to the site plan, which we insisted upon. These conditions were accepted, and because of that settlement, we then entered into mediation agreement with the developer and Fair Share Housing Center based on our zoning amendments, which were accepted by the state-appointed judge. Keep in mind, if it were up to any of us sitting up here, we would not allow multifamily housing. But in this world, and especially in this state, that's totally unrealistic. We all agreed that this would be the best way to preserve the integrity of our residential neighborhoods. I believe these facts, along with the prior actions this town has taken over the past 30 years on affordable housing, have shown just that. I will not enter litigation which would, which would drain the coffers, which means your tax dollars, and increase your taxes only to lose and be told we had to build it anyway. And if litigation is enacted and we do lose, our zoning laws would no longer apply. We would be probably looking at much larger buildings with much more density. And I will never allow that to creep into the residential. I hope this explanation of the facts addresses the misconceptions and answers the questions of why the entire council voted to create these overlay zones and why Krausers was included. And I've been getting a lot of questions on that. I just hope we can clear that up. Now, this continues for unfinished business because we talked about the reevaluation. Again, I'm getting calls and I want to explain that a little bit. I want everyone to understand that as a township, we don't decide when or where a reevaluation is done. When housing prices, the assets value of a house drop below 85% of the market value, 85%, ours was down to almost 70%. The Essex County Board of Taxation informs us that a reevaluation is mandatory and sets a time frame for its completion. We actually put it off a year because the bid that came from the appraisal company was just too high. We rebid it, and in doing so, the township saved approximately $200,000 by waiting a year. The reevaluation has started. I'm sure most of the households received the letter in the mail explaining the procedure this past week. Let me emphasize, this is not to collect any more taxes for the township budget. What it does is it balances the properties so that everyone pays their fair share of the current value of their property. The value of your home may go up, but the tax rate will go down. Please read the handout that was sent. It really explains it pretty clearly. And by the way, in the future, if anybody has any questions, concerns, here's rumors, or they just want to talk, please call me. My email is out there. Just stop into town hall. I'm here almost every morning, and we'll straighten out all the rumors, and I'll give you really what's happening, the facts. And that's my unfinished business. Does anybody have any new business? Well, I think I'm going to take that one too, because I have a little bit. Let's see which one that is. New business, yes. Okay, you know, we've been wanting, I've been chomping at the bit to revamp some of our recreation areas for a long time now. And I've asked Jim to look into ways to upgrade our fields. We've been trying to make do for a while on kind of older fields, and we really need at this point to upgrade. And I'm thinking about a couple of new soccer turf fields, turfing the infields on the baseball, softball fields, as well as addition of lights and more. And I gave Jim my wish list, and we'll see what comes of that. And of course, you know, we'll keep everybody updated. But the timeline, I'm not sure yet, but we'll try to give you updates whenever we can. And that's my new business. Let me see if we can get back to the agenda. Here we go. Okay, anybody else have any new business? Okay, seeing none, we'll go to public comment session. Does anybody wish to comment tonight? Please come forward, state your name and address for the record. Seeing no one, we'll close that session. Okay, our next meeting of the mayor and council will be Monday, April 27th, 2026 at 7 p.m. in these council chambers. If there is no more business before this council, may I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Council President McGlynn, Councilman LaForgia.
Council President McGlynn,
Aye.
Councilman LaForgia,
Aye.
Councilman Cifelli,
Aye.
Councilman Campisi,
Aye.
Mayor Glees.
Aye. Thank you, everyone.